Hi, I'm Gruff, a cute little bear girl with the voice of a cartoon uncle, and boy do I love Resident Evil. I know I'm not the only one. For many kids back in 1996, it was a magical moment when they first turned on their PlayStations, or Sega Saturns if they were abnormal, and played for the first time a game that would define what interactive horror would be for the next few decades. No, really. Dino Crisis, Silent Hill, Fatal Frame, Galerians. Yes, Galerians, I remember that game, played it a lot. All of them owe their existence to Jill Valentine and her merry band of friends. Resident Evil had everything. Action!
Let me take care of this.
Jump scares. Interesting puzzles. And one of the most amazing scripts and dialogue ever seen in a video game.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right. Barry, thanks for saving my life.
Okay, I lied about that last one. Resident Evil is dumb, but that's part of its charm. The game was an homage to classic B-horror movies, the kind that have minimal plot, just enough to justify a lot of gore and a few naked girls running through the screen. Of course, the game was a phenomenon. So much so that we are still talking about it 30 years later, and the most recent title in the franchise, Resident Evil Requiem, was just released to much fanfare. I just finished playing it, and let me tell you boys and girls, it's fantastic. Stop everything you are doing. I don't care if you are performing CPR on your mom right now. Forget that old bitch and go play some Resident Evil Requiem.
And that's in order.
In fact, I am so pumped about Resident Evil right now that I decided to make a video about the franchise. I was planning something different for this week, but no, don't look at that. That's for next time. Give me that. Stop messing with my things. Anyways, since I had a lot of fun making my video about the best girls from Baldur's Gate 3, you should watch it. It's great. Why not do the same for the ladies of Resident Evil? So here I am, and I'm gonna rank all the girls from Resident Evil. All of them. Or at least the ones that I care to remember, from worst to best. Who is best waifu? Who is the girl you dream you could date and make babies with? No, Evelyn and Rose are not on this list. What the f*** is wrong with you? I'm counting the three as a unit here because, let's be honest, no one can distinguish one from the other. You there, ready to tell me all the intricacies that make Daniela different from Bella? Keep them to yourself. You think you can differentiate them, but you can't. You are not special. You will never be special. So, the Dimitrescu girls. I could say a lot of things about them, but I'll say only this. They are clouds of bugs. Yeah. Look, man, I have my kinks. I definitely have my kinks. But if there is one thing I don't mess with, it's bugs. No, not even her. Nobody likes Devora. She is the Roman Reigns post the shield of Mortal Kombat, an insipid character whose creators try to push into the audience all the time. Look, like I said, they're bugs. Imagine yourself getting intimate with one of them, just to feel a lot of tiny things crawling in and out of holes nothing should crawl in or out of. So yeah, stay away from bug women. She's an arachnid. It doesn't count. I truly detest Annette Birkin because she's a negligent mother. Oh, sure, you have a great job working for an evil company creating biological weapons, and that justifies abandoning your daughter. Yeah, Go develop a virus that can wipe out a third world country while your only kid is being educated by TikTok. Her modern equivalent would be those chicks who leave their kids alone just to go on dates with a-holes from Tinder. You know the ones. Those who always end up being filmed and then used as an example by one of those "women are evil" channels. The one good thing about Annette is that she had her comeuppance. And good riddance.
You really gotta get going. Come on.
God damn it, Sherry, why did you have to make me cry? I know nothing about Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Like everyone on the planet, I was doing something else the week this game was released. Probably trying to find a way to remove censorship mosaics from Japanese adult videos, but alas. Since I know nothing about this game, I'll just say Michaela looks like your mom when she decides to dress up for Halloween wearing something from her old job, and you figure out why she never speaks of her past in Germany. This one looks like a paintball enthusiast on her way to a competition when she was mistaken for an Umbrella operative and never bothered to correct the people who enlisted her. Now the lie has gone out of control and she has no idea on how to fix the situation. She reminds me of Madame O from Bionic 6. Remember her? That's the best thing I can say about her. She reminds me of a villainess from a forgotten 80s cartoon. I'll also say that when I was a kid, I had a crush on the teenage daughter of the show. Now that I'm an adult, I have a crush on her mom. MILFs are what separate boys from men. She looks like the farmer's daughter. You know, from that age-old dilemma. A dude gets lost in the countryside and asks a farmer for shelter.
Alright, you can stay in my barn for the night, stranger, but you better not lay a finger on my daughter.
Don't worry, sir. I'm a perfect gentleman. Oh.
What's all this here? Oh, hell yeah!
She is like Catherine Warren, but in Mexico. Don't touch my daughter, Holmes! Don't worry, sir. God damn it! Who is this? What? She's from Resident Evil Gun Survivor? There were characters in that train wreck? Oh, whatever. I know nothing about her, other than she looks like a gunslinging version of Noodle from Gorillaz. So, just Noodle from Gorillaz. Guess she was Capcom's attempt to add another Asian vixen to the franchise, just to make fans happy. Unfortunately, she was in a game that absolutely no one played. Now I just have to wait for the 3 people on the planet who actually enjoy the Gun Survivor games to come here and tell me how wrong I am. Resident Evil Outbreak? I didn't play this. I didn't have an internet connection to play this thing back when its servers were on. I didn't even have a house. I was living in a van down by the river. Fine. I'll make my own headcanon for her and her game colleagues. Yoko is addicted to instant noodles and has 7 cats. Norio, Damien, Travis, Curtis, Dale, Jonathan, and Vegeta Jr. Jr. Vegeta! She wants to be a movie star. Her role model was Megan Fox, and she wishes to be as great an actress as her. Unfortunately, her acting skills are even worse than Megan Fox's, and her career will limit itself to Z-class horror movies directed by perverts like Donald Farmer, in which she will remain naked for pretty much 90% of her screen time, and the only people who will care to learn her name will be the red letter media guys when mocking her entire career. Don't be sad, Cindy. At least you will be remembered as fondly as Cameron Mitchell.
Will you close the doors?
The only one here I know, thanks to her role in Resident Evil Requiem. An intrepid reporter, always looking for the truth, and for that we already know she's fictional. If she were real, she would be in bed with Umbrella and condemning Chris, Leon, and all the others as terrorist extremists aggressively trying to destroy an innocent pharmaceutical company bent on helping mankind. Alyssa is one cool cookie, and I'm happy she was brought back to the franchise. I hope she appears in many more games. Oh no! Mia is boringest. Yeah, I know she's the whole reason that Ethan went on his legally distinct from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre adventure, but she's just girl. Really, describe her without saying Ethan's wife. See? You can't! Case closed. Zoe is as boring as Mia, but she's one step above, because there is a point in the game in which you have to choose which of them you want to bring with you. And if you choose the cute redneck tomboy you just met instead of your wife, Mia's incredulous reaction is more than worth the entire price of the game. Let's face it, Ingrid was made for female players to project themselves into. She's cute, smart, well-dressed, charming, and Leon openly flirts with her during the game.
Leon, it's been 6 hours since our last transmission. I was starting to get worried.
Don't you mean lonely? Hunnigan, is that you?
Finally, the line's jack-free.
Hey, Hunnigan, no glasses.
Forget the glasses. What's the status of the mission?
You know you're kind of cute without those glasses. Give me your number when I get back.
May I remind you that you're still on duty.
I can't help but picture girls playing RE4 and starting to dehydrate, imagining themselves in Ingrid's place and letting their imaginations loose on all the dirty things they wish that suplexing hunk of a man would do to them. Admit it, ladies, you did that. I like Helena, but not a lot. She's not bad, she just had bad timing. She made her debut in the least liked mainline Resident Evil and was paired with Leon, who at this point was already a superstar in the franchise. That way, Helena ended up just being girl who is cool but not as cool as the super agent dude who is right next to her. It was like bringing your Batman flashlight next to the bat signal. Of course the flashlight is cool, but it's nothing compared to a spotlight that projects a bat in the sky for God to see. You're thinking dirty things when I say Batman flashlight, aren't you?
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
Maybe Helena will get a second chance in Resident Evil 10 and become a badass. I don't know. I have nothing else to say about her, so here's a picture of my cat. The goth daughter of Barry Burton. She hates firearms because when she was a kid, she accidentally shot her sister with one of Daddy's guns. How does her sister still exist after that? I don't know, because Barry never carries a piece that is less powerful than Megatron's fusion cannon. Anyway, the verbal lashing Moira got from Barry made her resentful and rebellious towards Daddy Dearest. As a grown-up, she decided to be part of TerraSave, an NGO bent on saving the world from bioterrorists. So, Moira is a tomboy goth who has daddy issues and decided to work for a group that wants to save the world? She would be your average Blue Sky user, except Chris Redfield is one of TerraSave's members, so that qualifies the group as something that actually does real work, and Moira as someone much more useful than a Blue Sky user.
She doesn't exist!
And she is still more useful than your average Blue Sky user. Excella is Wesker's partner in crime in Resident Evil 5. She wants to be the Eve to his Adam when the villain resets mankind with Ouroboros, and... What are you doing? Are you even listening to what I'm saying? You know she's one of the most reprehensible characters in the entire franchise, right? But you don't care, do you? All you care is the booba. Ugh. Let's just move on. Rachel is... Oh God, not this again! Okay, have your fun. We'll move on when you're done. Oh, I hate you so much. The woman who awakened an entire generation of gamers to the deliciousness of older ladies. No, really, when we first got a glimpse of her, and the first time we saw her, it was just that, a glimpse, the internet went bananas. Fan art, speculation, marriage proposals, the gooning was off the charts. Then the game was released, and there was that scene where she sucks on Ethan's stump, and the internet's imagination ran wild. Then came the mods. Oh my God, the mods! Most of them I cannot even show here, but let me tell you, if you thought online gooners could ever reach a limit, well, Dimitrescu surely proved you wrong. Dimitrescu is the nemesis of this game, by which I mean she's the monster that chases you around and destroys you if she manages to put her deliciously well-maintained hands on you. A brilliant idea. Make the players not afraid of the monster but horny for it, hoping to be grabbed and have their faces squished by her giant buttocks. The bravest way to die. Kudos, Capcom. People will be thinking about giant monster mummies for many generations to come. Come. Yeah, I like Ashley. Sorry if I don't follow the almost 30-year trend of hating her for no reason.
Uh-oh. Ashley just got clothesline. Please.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Oh, she's too annoying, calling Leon all the time. I am sorry if the girl whose harshest reality in life was having to choose Pepsi over Coke is terrified and helpless when kidnapped by evildoers who look like a gaggle of Manowar fans and was dropped in the middle of a Spanish zombie apocalypse. She is a regular girl lost in one of the most irregular situations one can be in, so the way she behaves makes total sense. Also, I love that her original GameCube and PS2 model has some big, delicious, juicy ears. Yeah, look at her. She's like a Volkswagen Beetle seen from the front with both doors open. She's a little mouse, a mousy girl. Mousy girl, come here, mousy. You want some cheese? Chip, 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 chip. Come here. She is like the gadget hack wrench of Resident Evil, a cute little mousy goober going on a legendary adventure. Except she didn't fuck a fly. Oh, Gadget, why? I don't like Ada. Boo! Look, I get the appeal. Frank Miller once said, or was it Will Eisner? I don't know. One of them said, "The hoe down the street is always more interesting than the nice girl your mom introduces you to." In this analogy, Ada is the hoe to Claire's good girl. That would be introduced by her brother, not your mom. Her brother who would knock down walls and order you to breed with his sister. Anyways, Ada is sexy and dangerous, but dangerous never makes for a good wife. When you least expect it, she would be pointing a gun at your dick and stealing the chicken nuggets you made for dinner because some blonde in shades paid her to. Never trust those who steal your nuggies. Never forgive those who steal your nuggies. Yes, that was very specific, and I don't want to talk about it.
She was 12 years old 30 years ago, you PDF file!
Yeah, every woman was a child at some point in their existence, and liking any of them is problematic. Go complain to God. So, Sherry. From a little scaredy cutie patootie to a full-fledged and badass girl capable of handling herself in the Michael Bay-esque chaos that was Resident Evil 6, then later becoming Leon's contact and guide in Resident Evil Requiem. I like how Capcom didn't just forget her and gave us a chance to see her develop into a hero in her own right. I hope she becomes a playable character again in the not-so-distant future. Maybe Resident Evil Requiem's DLC? A DLC where she will kick Ada Wong's ass and show who is best girl of Resident Evil 2? I also hope she ends up being revealed as Leon's wife, for no other reason than it would piss off all the right people on Twitter. Yeah, I'm putting Sheva higher than Ada. Fight me about it. Physically. Sheva's cool, beautiful, brave, tougher than a teenager's parent forced to accompany their child to a Billie Eilish concert. She is the total package. Unfortunately, she is in a game everyone hates. Or used to hate. Resident Evil games have a cycle. They are released, people love them, then they start nitpicking and decide collectively they hate it. And then they move on to the next one and start the cycle anew. Alas, when people decide to hate on the newest Resident Evil, they rethink their hatred for the previous one and decide they always loved it. So, right now, people must love Resident Evil 5 again. Right? Sorry for the tangent, but it's something that I happened to notice. As for Sheva, I want her back, and I want her to get with Chris so the Redfield lineage can continue strong and so that Claire can have a break from popping kids once in a while. Say what you will, but Grace is the best addition to the Resident Evil cast in years. She is not Super Cop, someone trained to eat thunder and crap lightning, like the STARS members. She's just girl. And while that was a detriment to Mia, it's something positive in Grace's case. Mia never stops being girl, while Grace develops into girl with something worth fighting for. We see her grow from a trembling pile of insecurities into a trembling pile of insecurities that throws Molotov cocktails at people. Really, I love her weird, anxious friend vibes. She's the kind of girl who would invite you over for pizza at her place, get 3 different types of toppings because she didn't know which one you would like, apologize for not buying 4, and feel guilty over that for the entire week, thinking you now hate her because she bought too much pizza and none of it was the right one. I just want to hug her and protect her and tell her she's perfect forever. And to all the creeps on Twitter calling Grace ugly because she doesn't have the same measurements as Mia Khalifa, really? Really, really?
Agents.
What can I say about Rebecca? She's short, she's cute, she's a medic, she's so flat she could get a role in Ed, Ed and Eddie, She's a tomboy, she's brave and loyal, she is perfect waifu material. So perfect, in fact, even Wesker stole a picture of her and kept it hidden in his desk. To what end? We shall never know. Except, of course, we know. So later he could use that picture and choke the chicken, polish the banister, pound the meat, clobber the clown, burp the worm, shake hands with the president, shellac the shillelagh, make his nemesis see stars. I have a million of those. The only thing going against her is that she starred in very few games of the franchise. We need more Becca. We need at least one flat-chested Becca who survives her franchise in our lives. Please, Capcom. Please! No, I'm still not over Becca's death in Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Yeah, I know. She's the absolute muse of survival horror. How can she not be on top? First of all, yeah, I know that when you think of Jill, she's always on top. Now look, I love her too. I understand how everyone feels. Jill is the Chun-Li of horror games. From the moment we first saw her, we fell in love with tough as nails, bob-cut haired... What the f***? Where was all that? She is a master of unlocking, can play the piano unlike that oaf Chris, can turn into a sandwich, can run for miles in a tube top without anything plopping out. She's amazing! But here is the thing that ruined her as number one for me, and that now I share, so she will be ruined for all of you too. After playing Resident Evil 3 Remake, every time I think of Jill, I can't help but also think of John Connor. You're welcome. My number one gal. First off, I love her name. It's such a sweet name. It means light, I think. Also, she's a biker chick who learned everything she knows about survival from her super cop brother Chris. She can demolish behinds like the best of them, but is also sweet enough to comfort and protect a terrorized child during a zombie holocaust. She is the perfect mix of strong and fluffy. Look, I'm a soft guy. That's why I'm making YouTube videos and not competing in MMA. I would love nothing more than to have a girlfriend that would fight my fights for me. That when we were at McDonald's, she would go, "Excuse me, my boyfriend ordered the meal with the toy." And Claire seems just like the girl who would do that. Also her brother. The moment he saw a man showing interest in his sister, he would tear a hole in the fabric of space itself, appear next to me, and demand that my seed entered his sister's womb, for the entire Redfield lineage depended on my nards. How could I say no to that? So, this is my list. Who is your all-time favorite gal from Resident Evil? Let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you want me to make a similar list with the manly men of the series. And this is it for today. If you stayed to the end, thank you. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. And I'll see you guys and gals again very soon. Until then, take care of yourselves and everyone you love. Cheers!